And like how many people have that have been interviewed in all these various roles have been like ex Soviet, like, or Iron Curtain related stuff, like so many, like half of it is honestly making me think that Russia as a target suits the US because half of their spies have like literally got experience already working Russian targets from 30 years ago,
That's a really
20
good
years
point.
ago. It's like
Huge point.
they can just so easily like switch them back onto what they were already on before. It's like almost like a convenience. It's a target of convenience.
Yeah. I wonder how much energy is devoted to China these days over the NSA.
Yeah, I think obviously China's a big focus for them, but I think it's probably quite a difficult society to penetrate. I mean,
Because
they say that the USA lost dozens of assets in China after the OPM breach.
wow, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, apparently dozens of US agents in China disappeared, literally were disappeared after the OPM breach. So you'd think that like securing their systems would be like a pretty freaking high priority for the NSA rather than just trying to plot for the next war. But as we can see, it's almost like they don't care. Like
Yeah, I know.
it's
That is
almost like they don't actually give a shit if their systems are breached or if their data is leaked. Like
yeah, it's like they're just so all powerful that it doesn't matter to them very much.
they just
Which is
keep
scary.
rolling forward.
It
Like
just still it doesn't make any sense to me though. Still, even with the, if you consider them like I have Sauron level powerful, it's still it doesn't it's just not nonsensical to me. But what I think I've learned most, well, one of the biggest things I've learned going through these documents with you is that their mentality is so different to what a civilian or outsider would think of them looking from the outside in. Like it's just a completely different parallel universe.
well, what do people colloquially say? They're like, what is the justification for the existence of these agencies? They're securing us, they're keeping us safe, they're blah, 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 blah. But like at every opportunity that they have to actually spend even a small portion of their ridiculous amounts of funding on defending information, defending data, they don't. It's like Snowden was exactly right. It's all like offense, 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 offense.
Yeah,
Who are we,
that's
who are we going to target? Who are we going to sabotage? Who are we going to kill? Who are we going to shut down? Who are we going to manipulate? Who are we going to steal from? Like none of it is like, how are we going to secure the United States? How are we going to secure our data? How are we going to secure our personnel? Imagine how it must feel to be like a whatever secret agent or whatever they are of the United States and watch the OPM data breach happen. If you guys don't know what the OPM data breach is, it was the databases of the entire histories, all the information that is supplied when they apply for a clearance of everybody who has US clearance. That's literally like senators and like politicians and employees of all the intelligence services and everything leaked, stolen and leaked. Like it's supposed to be like the most sensitive data,
yeah, it would be understandably,
the
yeah.
most personal and sensitive data in the United States that they hold. And it got leaked, breached and leaked, and you hear practically nothing about it.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
true. It's
almost
true.
like it never happened, It's like, but let's attack Russia and let's attack Syria and let's attack Iran and let's
Exactly.
let's drop a
Exactly.
motherable bombs on North Korea and let's blah 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 blah. And we're doing it to keep America safe while the most sensitive information you have is leaked to the entire planet.
It's just so bizarre to see them not seem to care about their own agents or their own assets, at all. None, not
See,
at
I
all.
knew that they don't actually give a shit about their own agents because when I read that Bush's War or whatever it is by, what was it, the Obama book? I can't remember now, but it was by Bob Woodward. And Bob Woodward is like, there's a long conversation with me and John Kiriakou about Bob Woodward and on the anti-spy bill meetings, but Bob Woodward is like the sanctioned presidential biographer. And
Okay.
in one of, yeah, and in one of the books, I'm pretty sure it was in Bush's Wars, he writes about the CIA burning its own, like literally burning, like with a bomb, its own like assets, its own agents, because they decided, literally, it's almost like they're bragging about it. Like the fact they actually put this in a Bob Woodward book. They talk about how they had this agent inside this facility in northern Iraq, and they were going to bomb the facility. And they decided that they wouldn't tell the agent that they're going to bomb the facility, even though they knew the agent would be at the facility,
Wow.
because they didn't want to put the mission at risk by communicating with the agent. So they just blew up their own fucking agent. They just blew him up.
Wow.
And it's like, and after that, all I could think of was like all those stars on the CIA wall. You know how they have all the stars, and it's like the lives that have been sacrificed for, like, you know, keeping America safe, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, like, how many of those stars are actually killed by the agency?
Yeah, like it's presented like the
How
blood
many?
ordering the tree of liberty, and then it's, you know, this.
I couldn't believe it. Honestly, when I read it, I just had my mouth hanging open. I'm like, you're
Yeah, no,
absolutely
understand.
joking me. You're
Understand.
joking me. You go to all of this effort to, like, you know, pay people and corrupt people and recruit people and whatever the hell, and then you just blow them up for what? Unbelievable. And the fact that they openly, and not just that they admit it, but the fact that they had Bob Woodward publish it, it was like they were bragging about it. Like that, because
Yeah.
why would you say that? Why would you tell that story? Why would you, first of all, why would you do
What
it?
that
But
shows you is
second
the
of all,
culture,
why
though.
would you admit it?
Well, it shows you their mentality that is so bizarre to me, and I guess probably to most people. It doesn't make any logical sense or emotional sense that that would be their attitude. But it must be some sort of alien culture that I don't understand. That's for sure. But I think it reveals that is what I guess I'm trying to say.
It's just the strangest thing to me for them to put that there. And then there was another story as well that I told, like, and it just goes to show, like, the abject criminality of these services. But
Yeah.
it was in exactly the same book. And this in this particular story, they were talking about the post-Taliban, like, invasion of Afghanistan, when they had the what is the council? There's like a council of Afghani chiefs or whatever. The
Mm,
Northern Alliance, was it a Northern Alliance or something
I
like
think
that?
that's right.
It was this, like, group of, like, tribal leaders in Afghanistan that the CIA was trying to get to stand up against the Taliban. And so, anyways, they go to one of these, like, chiefs or whatever, tribal chiefs, tribal elders in this village, and they tell him, like, we'll give you some amount of money. I forget how much it is. I was like, we'll just say $5 million, like, for the sake of it, but the actual figures were in the book. They're like, you know, if you join the Northern Alliance or whatever, and you take a stand against the Taliban, and you commit your troops to the effort, blah, 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 we'll give you this amount of money. And he says, no, thank you, I'm not interested. I don't want to participate. I don't want to be a part of this. And so the agency goes away, and then they arrange for a £50,000 bomb to be dropped on the doorstep of this tribal chief. And then, which, I mean, God knows how much those munitions cost, but let's cool. Let's just go and drop them on someone just to give them a scare. And then they go back to him and they offer him a fraction of the original amount of money to get him to do what they wanted him to do in the first place. And he accepts. Because what they're basically saying is, we will murder you and your entire family, and we'll level your entire village with a giant bomb if you don't do what we want you to do. Like, that's like outright fucking blackmail. Like, outright, like, what law exists in this world to do that?
Exactly.
What law exists which says that it's okay to drop munitions on a fucking civilian because they won't agree to be blackmailed by you?
But specifically by the United States military empire. Like it just
It's impossible. I can't believe that there's any legal justification for conduct like that.
no, there isn't. There cannot be. That I mean, if
And
there is,
how, like, and what legal justification is there for them, like, getting munitions, like serious munitions like that, and then deploying them on that basis for a blackmail operation? Like how, like who's signing the paperwork, you know, like what, just incredible. And then yet again, they're bragging about this to Bob Woodward, who's then writing about it in his book and then selling millions of copies and is a New York Times bestseller and stuff. So it's not even like people, it's not even like people can debate this or call it conspiracy theory. They're fucking admitting that this is what they did. They're admitting they killed their own agents. They engage in blackmail and corruption and drop bombs on people who won't do what they want them to do. And the whole, like, what in the hell, you know?
Yeah, well, and then when they don't admit it, when it's revealed by, let's say, you know, a WikiLeaks publication, that's exactly why they retaliate so hard against the people that show them doing these illegal, immoral, and disgusting things to innocent people. So that's why you have this massive backlash against people like that, people like you, blah, 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 etc.